Yeah, okay. My sound is on. I just was like, uh-oh. I don't know if I can be heard. Not that I'm gonna say anything important, but just coming live to color a little bit. Um Today my husband had his surgery, cataract surgery on his right eye. So both eyes done. Yay! But it was a long morning and I almost brought this with me to color. I actually have um, my colors are in this case. I used to have the Xenicolor and Crayola color pencils in here, and I moved my Color premiums into here. And I thought, well, I could take these because this is one set where they're all in here. Um, I don't have. I may have one out somewhere that I don't know, but for the most part, they're all in there. But I wound up not doing that. I took the stuff. I took a book and my laptop to do work while I waited. But I don't know why I'm coloring in this book a lot, so I just keep coloring in it. And let's show you what I've done so far. Let me change the picture to the big one because this one, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I almost have everything colored in. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to, fancy up the things around it, all that space. But I feel better with that space colored in. It just makes me feel better instead of having all white space. Um, so I've been working on this a little bit. I did go in and like with this little monkey, I did. Hey, foot soldier, I'm doing good. This little monkey. Will it show the little monkey? Oh, it won't change when you're live. Oh, there it goes. I don't know if you can see him. Can I do that one? I want that one. I thought that would be closer. I guess not. That's closer. I don't know if you can tell, but I went in with where are they? Did I put them away? I must have put them away. That was good of me. With some acrylic paint pens, I have a white one in there, and I used that to kind of, make it look a little more like fuzzy hair, you know. But so that's that. Let's see what else. What else? I didn't go up here. I don't think I didn't do anything with that yet. I need to give this guy background. I also feel like I kind of want to zhuzh it up a little bit too, but it's kind of already done, so not working on that. This one is the one I don't know. I was using like things with water with it, and I just don't like when things aren't shiny. That bothers me for some reason. Let's go back to this. Um, why does I feel like it got like lower or something? I've been working on this one a little bit. Mm, and I put in grass. I still feel like I need to do a little more with that. The grass. I'm trying to figure out what colors I want to do the other plants with. It's like making everything green seems kind of boring, but then maybe it's all supposed to be green. I don't know. I love this one. I want to put a background on this guy. I did that a long time ago. I can't even remember when. Um, it's one I did recently. I still have to color in the centers and background. Okay. Didn't do any more on this one yet. Still waiting for that inspiration. But I've been working on this one. I don't know. Am I gonna work on it now? I'm at that point where it's like, uh-oh, if I add another color, it's going to change everything. What do I do? And I don't know if I want to do that. So, hmm. I was kind of doing this thinking, well, I'll do it for Mandala Monday, but kind of like I don't think technically it isn't really a mandala, so I was like, well, I don't know, but I liked this one, and I kind of want to keep it purple and yellow, but I need to have enough. I don't know. I need some lilacs and things, I think, to do that, which means I might have to go into some other pencils. Excuse me. I gotta put this away. Besides Prismacolors and Derwent Chromaflows. And I don't know if I'm willing to commit to taking out another set of pencils right now. So, I also can think about the possibility, excuse me, of what is this? Now, see, I have problems with some of these that look like they're supposed to be purple because sometimes they come out with more of a pink. So, yeah, I think I'm at an impasse right now with this one. Can't see in this one. I don't like where it is, and I need to change it somehow. Mm. Unless I just mindlessly keep coloring, but I just something about it I don't like. It has no, I don't feel like it has any character. And I thought if I put in the blue background, I would like it better. And I didn't like it, so I thought, well, what to make it different color backgrounds in there? I don't like that either. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know. Thinking about it, what to go into the background with. I could put black. That's kind of different, but I don't know. So am I gonna color something new? Or I love these pages, but they are a commitment. I mean, I could do it though, but trying to finish what I started, kind of. Oh, these are big. What am I gonna do with that? They're really big. Now I wonder why it seemed like it showed smaller before, and now it shows. Oh, they're all leaves. I feel like I should use something other than pencils on this. Paint. Wash, even. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, that's cute. I don't know. Maybe I won't work on Johanna. Now, what's going on here? Almost looks like if you turn it, it's a creature. It's almost like I'd like to color it this way instead of sideways. This might be nice with like a black background. I don't know. Am I feeling like I want to go outside of the... Ooh, those are big too. I don't know. Am I going to color in this, or am I going to switch to something else? I really would like to fix this page. Oh, this is kind of the same thing as that other one But it kind of... Now maybe if I colored it this way, I would see it differently and not be so mad at it. I think part of my issue with this page, I started coloring it. I was coloring it with the Color Premiums, and I wasn't really enjoying how it was going down on the how it felt on the paper, and so they kind of messed me up. If I can think of something for the background, I think that will underneath. I think that will help me continue with this. But I felt like I had to do way too much to get it there. Plus, coloring the Narcissus, that was really a pain in the butt. Trying to figure it out. But first of all, it took me a long time to figure out what these flowers were. Actually, I don't know. They might be a type of Narcissus. When I see those little speck things, that's what makes me think that's what they are. Or not Narcissus. What is it? What's the name of the plant? Orchids. Orchids. That's what I mean. But I finally looked them up because then I realized, oh, they're on this page too. So I looked at some, and these look like, when I looked them up, it looks like these are, what are they called? Monkey orchids, I think they're called. I was like, oh, so I kind of tried to copy the the way the colors went on some of them. And so I think they turned out pretty good. I still got to do the middle though. The middles. I don't know if I feel like, excuse me, doing that or just doing something new or what. I said on there Johanna Basford, and then like, what am I going to do? Switch up? I just want to do something that's relaxing. And I still have that page in Crystal Kingdom. Mythographics Crystal. I still got to finish the fox. I like him. I'm not having too much fun coloring the other things, so. No. Where's it? There it is. The butterfly. And what was I using on this? I need a background for this guy too. Do I feel inspired right now to do this? I wonder. Oh, I put my... I wonder if I should use the Color Premiums. If I said Johanna Basford, I should color in Johanna Basford. For real. That's how I feel. It was so crazy today while my husband was, in for that procedure or whatever. It was going, first the sun was shining really bright, blue skies, and then next thing you know, it got real dark and it was snowing, like whiteout snowing. I'm like, what the heck? Did the same thing like yesterday up here. But we were more south we were south of here and it was doing that. I was like, oh my gosh. And then it cleared up. Sun shining again. Sun shining, blue skies, driving home. Weird weather. What do I want to do with this? Maybe I should just finish the leaves and then Child, I've been finding more pencils in other places that I didn't know they were there. But it was good that I found them because now I can get them all back in their right places. Okay. I have to figure out what to color this bird too. And I was perseverating over the one on this side. I was having a hard time trying to figure out how to color it. But, okay, so let's see. How did I do that? I used some blues. Did I use that blue? We don't have to color them the same colors though. Right? Let's just have fun. Yesterday I finally did make red beans and rice with that andouille sausage I got from that, like, I don't know, artisan meat person. I don't know what you call them. The sausage is really good. I don't I don't like how I didn't season everything enough though. I think that was in part because I didn't know what the sausage was really gonna be like when I cooked it, even though like I browned it before I, put it in the pot with the beans, but and I tasted a little bit of it, but it still didn't tell me what it was gonna, I don't know, what it was gonna give. So it was a little bland a little bit for me, and today I didn't have enough. I was telling my husband because he liked it, and he says, "Yeah, it was a little bit bland, but it was really good." I thought, "Yeah, it was too bland for me," and I thought I have to think of how to zhuzh it up. Because that's my first time really making them, my first time cooking with that particular sausage. So I didn't really know what I was in for. So I didn't want to go hard. I didn't want to put in a whole lot of peppers and all that stuff, like, hot peppers, and wind up burning our mouths out or something. And because I was really tempted to put a chili pepper in there. They're like really tiny. These dried chili peppers that I have from years ago when I planted them in the yard. Started them from seed, and I actually overwintered one or two of the plants, and they kept growing indoors. It was crazy. Them things were so happy. And I think I got those seeds for, like, I don't know, the pack was like $1 or less. I got them from like a dollar store. Some things were like awesome. And I got like three, like, I don't know, is it not quite a quart jar of chilies out of them, and I dried them. I took the plants, and when I finally took them out of the pots, or some of them out of the ground, some of them out of the pots, I took them, and I tied them up. They were on my wall, upside down, so they would dry out, and they dried the chilies out, and then I, picked the chilies off and stored them, and I still have some, and that was like, man, that was like 15 years ago. Some things are still going strong, and you still don't know. When I pick one of them, I never know, is it going to be a really, really hot one or not. So sometimes I have to take like a pinch off rather than put a whole chili in there. So they last a long time. I don't know why I put those colors in, but they're there. Too late now. They're there. Oof. But because my husband had some of the red beans and rice when he got home, but I was like, I don't know that I really want that. I need more flavor. And I just didn't know how to. I didn't have the mind of how to, zhuzh that up. My husband might have it all eaten before I even can get to that. So, but so I had some. I still have um, some instant ramen that like I don't know. I think I saw it through like the Shop app or something like that, and I had ordered it. It sounded good. I thought, well, that might be good for a quick meal. And they're saying like better than the what is it, Maruchan ramen or whatever. It's supposed to be more protein and this and that and none of this and none of that. And I'm like, okay, well, let me try that. It was so awful. I was like, oh, I can't remember what I got. If it's in like an assorted thing or what. And so I was trying to figure out. And I actually was on Reddit the other day asking on their ramen channel, like, has anybody like have like a good way to like make these taste like you don't want to throw them in the garbage? And I thought about making like the paste, with the sesame seeds and all that kind of stuff, and like making like how the recipe that I got from that place where I got really good genuine ramen that's made like in California somewhere, and like they make it like the traditional way and stuff. I still have a couple packages of that left, and um I don't want to use them frivolously because they're really good. So when I really want to go down and make some real, ramen, like with the recipes from them and stuff that they have on their website, then I'll use that. But I thought, well, maybe I can kind of zhuzh up those Imi noodles by ramen noodles by. Oops, I forgot. These don't like this sharpener. I forgot about that. Oops. And so I was too tired to like, I didn't feel like doing the whole thing with the sesame seeds. You got to toast them and um well, you don't have to, but if you toast the sesame seeds and then grind them, they have a better flavor because the heat brings up the flavor of the sesame seeds. It tastes so good. But I didn't have time for all that because we've been gone all day and, you know, it's like, and I got work to do and whatever, and all that stuff. So, instead, I said, well, how can I get the same kind of sort of flavor without doing all that extra work? And something to still make them edible. So, the pack that I had that I took out was, and it's like a single serving thing, um, but a single serving of that is like big for me though. Um, and it said it was miso because like it comes with like a flavor packet. And so, like, you boil the water, and you put the ramen in there, and you put the flavor packet in there or whatever. So I used that. I did that, but then, and I tasted it, and I don't think I had the miso one before because that one didn't taste too bad. It didn't taste like that other one I had. That other one I had was like, oh my gosh, I was ready to throw all of those things in the trash. But I thought, nah, you paid some good money for this, so just, chill out and figure something out. But this one didn't taste so bad, but it still didn't have enough for me. I was like, well, okay, this is like, even if I were to put some vegetables and an egg on top or whatever, it still wouldn't be enough. It would not, there's not enough flavor in it. And so I just kind of started moving almost without thinking. But, okay, so I had some, I don't know, some brown rice miso, that like it comes in like these little. It comes in like a plastic bag that has a screw top on it. And so I had some of that in the fridge that I hadn't used yet. And so I squirted a whole bunch of that in there. Like it was like it squirts out like about a half inch thick, maybe. the half-inch diameter, and I like I squirted out like about that much for like like 2 cups of water or whatever. Anyway, I did. It's like, okay, this stuff needs help. So I used that, and then I fried some ginger in oil, in sesame oil. Do I want to use green? I don't know if I want green there. And then I had some shiitake mushrooms, and so I sliced those and I put those in there, fried that in, and so I sliced up some onions. I love onions. And so I put that in the frying pan, the sesame oil and the ginger. Right, cooked that up a little bit till it browned a little bit, you know. And then I took the noodles out of the boiling, thing. I let them cook way longer than they say to cook because for some reason, I don't know, those noodles still like really tough and weird and rubbery. So I was trying to get rid of that. They're just weird noodles. I don't recommend those in me ramen at all. Not at all. I'm just doing this because I got them and I don't want them to go to waste. But they actually turned out really good. What I did with it, so like I put the noodles, just the noodles, no liquid, in the stuff that I was frying, and the ginger and the onions and the shiitake mushrooms. And then so I did that. I'm like, okay, now what am I gonna do? Am I gonna put that in the frying pan stuff in the pot, or the pot in the frying pan? What am I gonna do? And I still didn't like the consistency of the broth. So I says, you know what? I says, let me put an egg in there. I said, but and it could almost be like egg drop soup, but it's like I don't want to beat my egg, like go through all this trouble, like trying to really whip up my egg so I get the nice little flowering things or what. I said, no, I ain't got time for that. I just took one egg and I says, well, let's see what happens. I cracked the egg and just put the egg, drop the egg in the pot, and I said, well, let's see if it is it gonna cook right away or what, because I never did that before with anything, so I was kind of curious what's gonna happen. It didn't like cook up right away at all, which was kind of interesting. Um, and so I whipped it with like a silicone whisk, and it got thick, like you couldn't see that egg was in there. It just all incorporated into the broth. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. So I got the thick broth that I wanted. I kind of got that out of doing that. And so then I poured it into the pan, the frying pan. So I figured with there, I got all my layers of umami or whatever. And so it was looking pretty good. And then I tasted it and I was like, ooh, okay. And then I just put it in a bowl and I had some fried Swiss chard and onions from the other day that I put some of that on top too, just a little bit. And I didn't eat the whole thing. There's still some left, but actually like Ice kept putting more broth in my bowl and drinking the broth because it was so good. I really liked it. So the broth is banging. So I'm gonna have to remember that. Although um I don't know how I would I don't know. I guess I could just use that rice miso next time and make it and not have to worry about their flavor pack, which like, you know, I could probably do the same as that. I used a whole lot of that rice miso anyway to give it flavor. It was very filling. And I'm telling you, that broth was really good. I never thought of doing anything like that, like whisking a raw egg into broth. Never. I'm so shocked that it like disappeared and didn't have any chunks or anything. I still am amazed at that. Who knew? I didn't know. I want orange in this guy. There's too much green and blue. So that's what I had for dinner. And there's a little bit left. I don't know. My husband might wind up eating that for dinner when he sees it in the pan, when he tastes it. Well, he's a carnivore, but he always is fascinated when I make these things in the pan and I just make them up. I keep trying to teach him how to do that. I says, you can do that too. You really can. Look in the fridge, see what there is. Think of how you can put it together. Oh, there's people. I didn't even notice. People other than Foot Soldier. Foot Soldier, I gotta watch was it episode 10 or whatever? I'm confused at how the episodes are in Bridgerton. Because I wound up watching 9 that went into the new story for week before last, and I didn't realize it's like, oh wait a minute. But anyway, hey Bubbles, hey Mary, give you a formal hello. Um, but I have to watch episode 10. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. I like the new story, but I'm gonna miss what's her name? Okay, like I can't even remember her name. Was it Daphne? Daphne and Simon. I'm gonna miss them. I still think that baby was ugly though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad I wasn't alone with that. I was like, that's the baby they had. I know it's not really their baby and it's somebody's baby, and I shouldn't be calling the baby ugly, but I gotta be honest, all babies aren't cute. That's not true. And if you think of everything they go through to come out, they're not gonna come out looking cute. It's amazing that any of them do. That's a lot to go through. You just take them out of their safe place, and then you got them like stressing, pushing. It's like, what the heck is happening to me? Leave me alone. That was fine. I can stay in here. Then I don't know if they still use forceps, but then giving babies pointed heads because they use the forceps to pull them out. What kind of conversation? Oh, whatever. I talk about everything. What can I say? But yeah, that was not the baby. Yeah, I still. Well, let me stop. Let me leave that baby alone. I just was expecting different. And just read my book. I don't know. You're probably not listening, but I really want to hear your thoughts on it. I don't want to be the only one because I know you agreed with me. I don't want to be the only one. So we talk about the show Bridgerton. We're watching it from the very first season because I've never seen it, and I only started watching it because Jill is doing this, and I thought I wouldn't like the show. That's why I never even bothered to watch it. But I actually really like the show a lot. I think part of that is the writing for the show. The writing and the acting. I mean, it's like they really like, I don't know, it's just really good. I'm a sucker for good writing and a good ensemble cast. I love ensemble cast shows a lot. Something I'm realizing about me. So, what's the last show that I liked that didn't have an ensemble cast? I gotta think about it. See there, I really gotta think about it. I think let me see. Orphan Black. I think that was the last show that I watched that I couldn't get enough of the main character. It was like, oh, she gotta be. It was like she gotta be there. It's all about her. I really liked her, but then she also played more than one part. But still, it's like her character. I was really drawn to her character and her character's journey through that whole thing. So yeah, I think that was the last one I was interested in. Now I'm watching that show also on Netflix because I don't know. I think I'm watching a whole lot of Netflix because I'm only going to have it for a little while and then I'm going to get rid of it. I have a feeling they go up on the price. I'm like, okay, that's my excuse. No more. Bye bye. But I'm watching that show Lupin. And I like it. It's like a French kind of um thriller drama, and I like it. Some parts are kind of hokey a little bit, but it is kind of like, okay, like, well, how did that happen? You know, how did he get from there to there so quick? Kind of kind of like some things happened in Animal Kingdom. You know, it's like some of their heists were like so like unrealistic, but at a certain point, but then you kind of just let them get away with it because you know at this point, because there were other things about the show that you liked, and it's like, okay, I'm not quite buying that, but I'll buy it. You know, hey, Ivy Pearl, talking about a bunch of shows. Actually, I was talking about Bridgerton because we get together on Jill's channel, JCZ Craft and Vlogs on Fridays and talk about that show. Like we're watching from the beginning each episode, and so like we'll watch 2 episodes and talk about those 2 episodes on Friday. So and we took a break last week, which was good because it helped me catch up and whatever, do other stuff. But we're gonna resume with the second season um on Friday. So if anybody'd like to watch and talk about it, anybody want to give their input about that baby? You're more than welcome, I'm sure. Um, and then I don't know, talked about other shows. I'm watching the show Lupin on Netflix, and what I like about that is what I've been doing with that is I can watch it. My husband doesn't like foreign films really. Um, like him and my sister and my brother-in-law, probably the only foreign film they've ever liked is one that I made them watch, but they still liked it and didn't regret it, and that was the original La Femme Nikita by Luc Besson. That film is like one of my top all-time favorite films. That film is amazing. But um but I can and Lupin, I can actually have I can switch back and forth between what I want for the subtitles and what I want for them to actually speak. Because if I'm working on something while I'm watching it, I can't really hear it in French, and then I can't pay attention to English subtitles. So sometimes I'll switch it and I'll put it to dubbed English with French subtitles. So then my husband can deal with it too, because then he doesn't like reading subtitles. And I tend to put captions and subtitles on everything because I'm never doing one thing while I'm watching. I'm always doing something else. I can't like stop doing things. So um but yeah, and I guess every season they focus on a different in Bridgerton. every season they focus on a different kind of story, part of the, thing. So I was kind of sad that the whole story of Simon and Daphne was ending. I was like, it's like I want to see more, but I guess you do kind of see them kind of intermingled between the other stories or whatever because everybody's connected. So yeah, I love foreign movies. I've always loved foreign movies. Um, since like my early 20s, I started watching foreign films and haven't like I haven't watched a lot. Well, I haven't because I haven't watched a lot of movies or TV or anything for like a kind of like 10 years. Didn't watch a lot, but like I really liked the I don't know what they call it, like kind of like the Chinese New Wave or whatever that was like in the 90s. That one, all those movies with Gong Li is absolutely gorgeous woman. Um, and they're all after these Chinese folk tales. Raise the Red Lantern, um, To Live, and oh, what's the other one? There's another one. Oh, Red Sorghum. Oh my gosh, that movie. I gotta see if they have them on anything that I can watch them now. Because for a long time, in that transition when from CDs, you couldn't find a lot of foreign films on streaming available through streaming, which is another reason why I stopped watching movies and foreign films because I couldn't get them. But now I think I should check and see. Red Sorghum, oh my gosh, that movie is so good. Well, all three of those are really good. Um, I loved watching anything that had Catherine Deneuve in it, which was another bonus with La Femme Nikita because, oh no, Catherine Deneuve wasn't in that one. It was what's her name from French film noir. What's her name? Oh my gosh, I can't remember her name. And she was really good in it too. But I watched a lot of French films, Catherine Deneuve films. Um, there's that one with her, and I can't remember the guy's name. He was really popular at one time. He was supposed to be kind of like a heartthrob kind of guy, but they were what's the name of the movie? I think it begins with the C. But she was trying to run a plantation in Vietnam, during the French occupation or whatever colonialism of Vietnam. Um, that was a really good movie. I don't know why I can't think of the name all of a sudden, but I can't. But yeah, I love French films. I don't like Italian films too much. I don't know why. They're too like hard or something. I don't know. Something about Italian films don't really. I will watch German and Norwegian and like Dutch and Finnish films. Those I will watch. There's some of those I like. So where am I? Oh, one's with that guy. What's his name? I don't know. He's got some weird name. Well, it's not weird to him, but it's weird for an English speaker. Uh, I can't remember his name. Anything he's in, I always want to watch. And I think I actually made a playlist recently that has all the films that he's in that I haven't seen yet because I really like him as an actor. He's a really good actor. Where's black? Is that black or yes, that's black. I don't know why I'm doing black, but I am because there's a whole lot of blue in here. Is why. I like Spanish films too, from South America. From South America mostly. Some from Spain. That what's his name? Aldomovar. I haven't watched a lot of his films. Maybe because people talk about him so much, and I tend to shy away from anything that somebody's, is famous. It's if a lot of people like it, I'm thinking I probably don't. which is why I didn't watch Bridgerton for the longest time from that same attitude. I'm a snob. But no, it's just like, what is it that movie, The Pianist, with Adrian, what's his name, who used to be in like some of the Spike Lee films, like how he won, I think he won an Academy Award or something one year. I like him as an actor, but I never watched that movie because I thought, yeah, it got an Academy Award. I'm probably not gonna like it. Too much hype. I'm suspicious of too much hype. I think that's what it is about me. If there's a lot of hype, I'm probably not gonna like it. Doo-doo. I don't know why black, but we're doing it. The parrots must have black. Yes, Indochine. Oh my gosh, I love that movie so much. Yes, sorry, that's it. Indochine. Oh my gosh, I love that movie. I love period dramas too, a lot. Like all of those Merchant and Ivory films. Excuse me. A Room with a View. I don't know if they did Passage to India, but I love that movie though. Um, I was also addicted to the PBS show that was kind of about the same thing. I don't know if it was uh, based on E.M. Forster's writing or not, but I was what was the name? I can't remember the name of that show, but it had Charles Dance in it and somebody else. I can't remember. It had a lot. It was an ensemble cast. Dame Peggy, what's her name, who was also in Passage to India. She was in it. Love her. Yeah, I love period pieces, period dramas. Love British films. I don't know, in a way that kind of goes without saying. I was watching Mighty Python when I was like 12 years old, so like that's not actually drama, but it's kind of like Peggy Ashcroft. That's her name. Dame Peggy. Dame Peggy. Peggy Ashcroft. And my favorite Scrooge is the one that has Alec Guinness in it. My favorite Christmas Carol movie. His face expressions. Oh my gosh, it's funny. And I know it wasn't something I definitely didn't get a lot of the jokes. I didn't know what was going on because it was very much adult humor. But all those Carry On movies, I used to watch those when I was a kid. Me and my sister used to watch them. The Saint Trinians, all of those movies. I should watch them now to see just how much I missed. Yeah, because there was a lot. It was a lot of adult humor in there that I didn't really know. I just like, first of all, Alec Guinness's face was always like worth a laugh. So okay, we going orange in here a little bit. I feel like I should do the same with me. Yeah, those movies with those Chinese Hong Kong movies. I think they made them. I don't know. There's like a whole like kind of backstory to how those movies got made. I don't know. In some ways, it might make me not like the movies anymore. So maybe I don't want to know. But the cinematography in those movies are just like, oh, the colors are just so incredible, and I think that's why I liked. That's another reason why I like those movies so much. It's so gorgeous, and he's just so Oh, I like Japanese films too, like Akira Kurosawa. Because and I was thinking of that because with these movies, Red Sorghum, To Live, and the other ones by that same guy, they all have that Kurosawa kind of. They have a Kurosawa kind of feel to them, and the cinematography is just mouth watering, gorgeous, just gorgeous. And the stories are, they're all like about in I don't I'm thinking they probably take place during the same kind of time period of like, with Chinese dynasties, and it has like a lot of focus on in some kind of way always on the way, living within the, I don't know what it's called, in the court or whatever of that dynasty, or in some cases the commoners living during the time period of that dynasty, but they're just so lush and gorgeous, and Gong Li is beautiful, and like she's a really good actress. So I don't know why this is looking like an Indian headdress. But it kind of is. Oh, oh yeah, rest in peace. What's her name? Patricia. Is it Patricia Highsmith? Where it always was a thing, like I think it was Sundays that I would watch that, Keeping Up with Appearances, and something else. Was it AbFab? I don't think that was on Sundays. AbFab was hilarious. Oh my gosh. They were crazy. Um but there was a time I used to watch, what they had, Red Dwarf, and maybe it was just Red Dwarf. No, there was another one that was really weird, about these three roommates. Oh man, what was that called? And one of them, all I could think of is like, man, he must have a lot of snot in his nose or something. Excuse my language. But oh man, and then they had the one guy, the one roommate who was like kind of big and lunky, and he had really long stringy hair. I guess he was, I don't know if he was kind of supposed to be almost like a hippie or something, and his name was Nigel. I gotta figure out what the name of that show was. But I used to watch that and Red Dwarf. What am I doing with the rest of this? I'm making all that. Am I making them black all the way? This black isn't like giving though, like I want it to. And one of my all-time favorite movies is out of Africa, which I think that did get like an Academy Award, a few of them. I love that movie. I'm not, and I'm not one much for like romances or anything like that, but there's something about that movie. I think it's the overall thing, just the story, the scenery, the just everything about it. The kind of sort of in some ways like an indictment on colonialism, or I don't know. There's just something about it that I love that movie. And then there's Robert Redford. He's really hot in that movie. And the way that Meryl Streep can just like could just inhabit a character. And then John Hurt. I love John Hurt in anything, absolutely anything. If he's in it, I want to see it. I think that's his name, John Hurt. I always get him and this other guy, an American actor, their names mixed up. I feel like I need that white in him to brighten up the picture. I don't really want to get rid of it because all the blue that he's around. Yeah, but I used to watch tons and tons of movies. I mean, I got rid of. I was so sad when Netflix all of a sudden no more CDs. I was like, really? Like I just recently threw away, like I mean, just recently threw away like a pile of Netflix envelopes where you return the CDs. Yeah, AmFab is kind of like a transgressive comedy, I think I'd call it. They were over the top. Edwina is freaking over the top. I want red. I think I do, just cause. I think I gotta cover this up a little bit, just a tad. Mm-hmm. Gotta finish the middle of the monkey orchid. Let's see, let's hit that one. So, I don't know, oh, maybe tomorrow I'll get a picture of the little bit that I did in the garden and get a picture of that lovage because it's starting to come up, and I'm even thinking maybe I need to cut some of it now and preserve some or make some oil from some. That might be the thing to do before it starts really taking off and growing. Let me do that. That kind of sounds like a good idea. I had to dig to kind of make room for. Excuse me. Oh, I cleaned up that bed. I'm finally like. This is the first time in many years I'm actually paying attention to the garden. I don't know how long it's going to last this year, but um, I went out and was digging in the dirt and making space for to separate the mint, keep the mint close to the house, and then keeping it away from both the lovage and where I want the oregano to really take off. And so I need to replenish that soil a little bit. Um, but I think it's a little too early for me to do it because wherever the spearmint is, it's just gonna it can be kind of bullyish. So I'm gonna have to tend it like all summer. I'm gonna have to focus on that bed and keeping it at bay. I don't know. I may put down some field stone to kind of separate it from the oregano, just so I always know where the oregano needs to be, and I can make sure of where I'm picking out the spearmint. But I need more oregano oil, so I really want my oregano to have take up as much space as it wants to. And the bees like it too, so when it flowers, like kind of at the end of summer, I always like that because the bees are always all over it. And I gotta give them their pollen. Let them do their thing. I don't know. I'm not really going to be doing much with flower beds this year because I'm just kind of sad that, like, I mean, I did my garden so that it could just perpetuate itself and then it wouldn't need that much labor from me. But then that all got blown apart when um, people were, I don't know, there were a few things that happened. Then the putting the garage in changed the where the water goes, and I wanted to have that figured out before we put the garage in, but that's my thinking, not my husband's thinking, and so then the flower beds were getting flooded, and it's like, well, that's it. I'm not doing anymore. That was like 10 years worth of work. Just kind of, yeah, I just kind of was like, and like things could come back from it, but like if I do work and then it just gets flushed away every year, because I like to have a combination of, I like to have perennials that I know are always going to come up, and then I fill in with annuals. And then I also like to have some annuals that I know are going to reseed so that I don't have to worry about putting more of those down either. And I only have to put in, I only have to worry about starting and putting in um, the annuals that don't reseed or they reseed and critters eat the seeds, like poppies, sunflowers. Although I used to have sunflowers reseed. They didn't get them all, but uh, yeah, so I don't know how. I even halfway thought I was like, let it grow back to grass. I don't know, but I mean, I put in like six. What's it? One, two, three, four. Where am I counting from? The side. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I put in 8 garden beds. And my in-laws kind of used to laugh, my sister-in-law, because I was out there, I was lifting up rocks and all kinds of stuff, and because like there weren't any critters like that would bad critters like rats that would come around because we had all the dogs everywhere and the cats, and it was pre-pandemic. So they were other places. I would actually just put like I'd save buckets of scraps and just dump them on the garden beds to get them, to get the soil. Um, get nutrients to the soil, and it did. Boy, I mean, I can't do that now. But we have a composter now too, so but yeah, I put in 8 garden beds. I still am kind of amazed when I look and realize that it's like I was possessed. I just had to. It's like how can you be in the country and not have food and flowers? Like what the heck? What like how can you not have that? We should have chickens. I'd have a cow if I could. I'd have chickens if I could, but I don't think I can. I can't. I would have to be the one doing all the stuff, and I can't do that. Okay, and I got a nose too, so like that's a whole nother thing to learn. Having chickens and all that, and we got foxes around too. So like, don't let me find a chicken that's no longer with us. I'm gonna like, yeah. I don't want to get rid of the fox, and I don't want the chicken to be gone either. I don't want to be in that dilemma. It's like God will give me grace if I need to be, but like I don't have that grace right now. When I first got here, I kept crying because I kept finding rabbits, baby rabbits, because the dogs would find where the nest was. I was always rescuing baby rabbits, and then one time I brought one inside, and he was getting along pretty good. I had him in a little shoebox, and the cats found him. Yeah, my husband's niece found me like she more than once. She was coming home from work, and I'm walking down the driveway crying. I mean, I can laugh now, but I was really brokenhearted. Kept telling all the animals, I know you're wild, but we're on a don't ask, don't tell basis. Don't let me see any evidence of what you're doing. Thank you. Really trying to, I don't know, just kind of push myself, coloring the tiny things, coloring a background, taking my time. I want to add things to the background, which of course, like that's not my, I don't know nothing about that, but I'm gonna do it with this page and figure it out somehow. So, and already I feel like I keep feeling like I want something like gold, like somehow droplets stringing down somehow in here, especially on the bottom. I don't know about the top, but um, oh, a fern. Does it make those little things they call fiddleheads? Oh, cool. Yeah, you can really spend some serious time in the garden. There's always things to do. Always. So because now I seem to be getting back into it. It seems to be time. I'm gonna have to take it a little at a time because first of all, I'm older. I can't be doing all that stuff like I used to do. Like I'm still amazed that I even did it because I was always Miss Priss. It's like I don't want to be around no dirt. I don't want to break a sweat or nothing. And all I have to do is say boo, and I break a sweat. So like when I was out there the other day, oh my gosh, I couldn't even after I took a shower, I couldn't stop sweating. It was like oh my gosh. But usually my practice was always to I would go out really early in the morning, like 6 o'clock, like as soon as like it was daylight. I would go out early in the morning, and then I usually was done doing anything I needed to do between 9 and 10 o'clock. And I came in, took a shower, and then I was indoors for the rest of the day. besides, going out to shop or whatever, visit or whatever. But that was my practice every morning. So, but I look at the where I had the flower beds, and I'm just looking, they look so pitiful. And it's kind of like there's some things that are growing up on there that like they were there decoratively, but now they've kind of for beneficial things to insects or whatever, but now it's like taking over those beds, and I really need to dig them up now, early in the season. um and then I always I really want to have something for the butterflies, because I used to grow bronze fennel, because the caterpillars like that, the monarch caterpillars. And just before um the garden really was showing like I am totally neglected, um we I had the bronze fennel. I would always try to keep it towards the back, and but it would reseed towards the front, so I'd always like kind of pick it up and like put stick it in holes in the back so it was close to the sunroom windows, and so it was sheltered. The monarch caterpillars would be sheltered from the birds, because it would be like kind of back against the house. And then also, we could see the caterpillars on the fennel. So I could see, I don't know, I counted like 7 of them one year on it, and it just made me feel so good to like have given them a food source. And I miss that. I like doing that. So I don't know. I may at least try and get some bronze fennel going back there and dig up that other stuff that's taken over. I miss my flowers though, but I can't be doing all that gang. That took a long time to build up to that. And Ivy Pearl, I found some container gardeners on YouTube, and I've been posting some of them to my wall. There's this one woman in particular that I saw. She lives in Atlanta, which is like warmer than my zone, but she's doing a lot of the things that I've seen other container planting people that I know, um like that grow vegetables in containers. Like I knew one woman, like 20 years ago. She lived in Brooklyn, and she had a whole vegetable garden on her tiny little patio in her high rise. That was like a jungle of an edible jungle. All the stuff that she had there, so healthy, and she had it down. And I'm not good at that, but I want to get good at that, especially because now, without having any pets, we've got more deer and stuff like that. So I'm kind of thinking, at least if I have them in containers, I can pick it up and move it somewhere else. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm letting the Lord lead me, because um he definitely was the one behind me putting in all them garden beds, because I don't know where that came from. It was just like I went crazy and learned how to start. I started doing that winter sewing thing, which I think is what really propelled it, because it was so easy to not have to sow seeds indoors and tend them, and then have to overwinter them. And I was a black thumb before. So, and then when I started doing the winter sowing, I mean, I didn't even try much planting. I didn't try any planting really, except for impatiens in the shade in the front. Um, but when I heard about the winter sowing, it was so easy, And from that first year, all the stuff that like sprouted, I have very few things that didn't sprout. And actually, some of those things I kept them for another winter and they sprouted the following year. So I was growing things that like some people say like, experienced gardeners cannot grow from seed. And I didn't even know it because I thought, I like that flower. Let's try and plant that. Let's do that. Now, if I tried to start it indoors or tried to start it the normal way it says on the packet, yeah, it probably wouldn't have sprouted. But I started learning all these Latin names for things and all of that because like when you share it with people within the community, it's like you tell them the so that if they want to find that seed or whatever, I don't know. We just always like shared both names. And it helped us keep track of things, helped us find like, how do you care for it once it's, growing. But I had a whole shade garden. There's two plants, well, there's three plants that I think are still there. No, four. There's a geranium, the perennial geranium that I winter sowed. Um, I don't know if the astilbe is still there, but I had winter sowed that. I had winter sowed several. I don't know if there's any of that left. I'm gonna have to check over there this summer, late summer. But I did buy some hellebores, which like I didn't even know what that was until like one day I went researching for shade garden stuff. And those two they're actually blooming now. But those are actually plants that I purchased. And I purchased them like really small. So I'm thinking about moving them to the front of the house and maybe just not doing that shade garden at all and let that go to grass. Uh, but I also have two huge hostas that are there that I probably need to split, but I'm kind of fascinated by how huge they are. But I actually winter sowed those because somebody in that community shared seeds with me, sent me seeds for them, and so I winter sowed them one year. And one is like a light green, and the other one is like kind of a dark, a bluish green. And both of them, you know, they worked. They grew. They sprouted. They grew, and now they're huge. They're like I don't know. They're it's really crazy. They're probably like what like they're probably 2.5 feet wide at least. I really need to separate them, divide them. But I don't know, I got to think about design, garden design, and all that. And I just wasn't like, But this year now, I have the space. We moved out the deck out of the front yard. So now I have space that has shade that's close to the house. That would probably look nice there, I think. Maybe. I don't know. But that sounds too much like work. I'm not sure if I'm in for that much work this year at least. I got to build up to that. So I need a dark blue. How long have I been on here? Okay. I need a dark blue. I'm telling you, if you ever want to try the winter sowing, I'm telling you that thing that works, it works, it works. And it's so simple. It's insane how simple it is. A jug, milk jug, juice jug, put holes in the bottom for drainage, put dirt in it, water the dirt really well so it's kind of like almost like mud consistency. Throw your seeds on top, put the jug outside. Done. That's it. You can put them out there in the middle of winter. The seeds know when to sprout. There's just some seeds that you don't want to do that with, so you kind of have to that's where conversations with people helps. But if it's something that reseeds in your area, it's something that you can winter sow. More than likely, it's going to winter sow well. Like tomatoes, even though people think of tomatoes, well, that's a hot weather plant. Nope. Tomatoes reseed in your yard. If they reseed in my yard, you can winter sow tomatoes, and that's what I did. And like mine were always like they my plants lasted longer than my in-laws' plants. The ones they bought theirs, as kind of good size baby plants. I started my own, and even though they may have seemed like they at first like they were like, well, they're not as big as ours. Well, mine lasted longer and produced longer because they were used to being in the temperatures that were cooler, so they had acclimated to it. So it didn't matter to them that it was like, September or almost October, and they're still giving me tomatoes. Um, and lettuce, cool weather plants, like things like any lettuces, they are lettuce and parsley are two things to winter sow. If you never tried it before and you want to try it, do lettuce. Do lettuce, do parsley. That lettuce, and I live in zone 5 in like upstate New York, and my lettuce would sprout in like mid-March. And so like it's kind of good in a way because then if you have your bed prepped, you can actually put them outside sooner than before frost ends. You just might, in some cases, you might want to cover them up with a little bit of that white stuff, kind of white see-through stuff or whatever. But yeah, just it amazed me. Like I never would have been gardening if I hadn't done that because it would have been way too much work. And why did I put so much blue in there? I even it out now. Just feel like I want a little bit darker. Okay, enough of that. Where was I really trying to go with this? I wanted to go somewhere with this. I don't remember where it was. But I need to do this. Um, if you want to know more about it, I know the one person who was she kind of like I don't know if she like she did something with the process like to kind of trademark it or something because other people would try to kind of promote it as their idea, but they would say the wrong things. They'd take the easy out of it, basically. And I don't. Trudy did not like that. And she started teaching people through her cooperative extension and things like that. But her name is Trudy Davidoff, and she's the one that kind of got a lot of this going and acknowledges this is actually something that other people have done in various ways in the past and traditionally. So, but I have started some seeds indoors. I kind of got into that after winter sowing because I thought, well, if I can grow this, maybe I can try some of these things like this. But I just don't enjoy it. It's too much work for me. The lights and the fans and the mm-mm. I don't like that. That's too much like work. I can't do that. So I do know if I want to build all those garden beds back up again, I do know what I can do to do that. It's just I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend that much time on it. Although I love how it looks, I kind of feel like I want to streamline things a little bit. But I miss my flowers. I love dahlias. Now that's something you can't winter sow. I haven't been able to. You might be able to in some other zone, but I can't do it. Um, but I love like those big dinner plate dahlias. I love them things. And I tried like, overwintering the tubers and stuff, and I actually was doing that for a while, but it was a lot of work too. And our basement isn't nice enough where I can like actually put them down there and have them be safe because it's too damp down there and they'll like rot or something or mildew or whatever. Ugh. I hate our basement. I want our basement redone. I want a new basement actually. Like that guy down the road, he got a whole new foundation. The Amish, he hired the Amish, and they had his house. I think I talked about this before. They had his whole house. They had his house ratcheted up on, I don't know, these things, and they actually dug out and made a new basement, poured a new basement for him. Okay, I mean, he paid him, so but that's what they did. And I know my husband got nervous because when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, I want us to do that." He doesn't want to do that. I want to do that. I want a nice, dry, balanced, normal basement because we got an old farmhouse kind of basement that's weird. And I love the stone. It's like stone foundation, I love it, but it's just not it needs our house needs to be leveled for one. And so I wouldn't mind as much as we could keep of the original stone is cool, but then add whatever needs to be added to it to have it sealed and level. That's what I want. But I want a basement that I'm not going to be afraid to go down in if we start getting tornadoes up here like we did. Was it just last year we got a tornado warning and tornadoes? Like, I'm like, what? That's the reason why I live up here, so I don't have to deal with that mess. If I'm gonna have to deal with that mess, then I might as well go where I can smell some magnolias in May. I love magnolia trees. Love magnolia trees. I don't like hurricanes and tornadoes at all. Heard too many stories growing up. It's like, nope. I was addicted to watching The Wizard of Oz. They got me fascinated with tornadoes. Fascinated, terrified. It's just probably one reason why I watch, what's his name, Ryan Hall, y'all. Kind of watch it to pray for folks too, because those things can be unpredictable. I remember when they had that outbreak. It was in the fall. I remember because I think I was getting ready for work, and I had to start later in the day that semester, and so I was home in the morning and watching the Weather Channel, and they were talking about um, the timing of the supercells, and I was like, uh oh, like not nighttime. Please don't be nighttime. So that was my day to pray. I was praying. It's like, it doesn't sound like a good day for down there. Trying to figure out it because these guys looks kind of so bland. Like, do I need to? I don't know where to put some variation in them. I don't know. It's like you need something to break it up. Uh, oh, my aloe. I may have to show you a pic. I may have to take a picture of my plants again. That one aloe that had the babies, and then I found out recently it had another baby in it. It was. I went to water it 2 weeks ago, and the whole thing like it tipped over. I didn't realize how heavy it was. The aloe had gotten so huge, and then it was kind of leaning to one side that it I had no idea how heavy that thing was. It was so freaking heavy. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I got to move this to another pot." But I don't have a pot big enough cuz this thing really has taken over this the size pot it was in. Was it like not a gallon pot, quart pot? I don't know. One of those terracotta pots. So I had to go shopping around for a pot. I went to Lowe's and got some, but it really wasn't big enough. And so my husband went to like the what do you call it? Like a farmers home and garden kind of place, local place. And he asked them, which actually like was where I wanted to go, but it's like I didn't have time because with working and stuff, it's like I don't know if they still have them, and I got to go see, and then I got to look at them, and I don't know. I didn't know if they had them still. And but he went the other day and he found one. It was just like huge. But so then I had transplanted it into a different pot that just like I don't even know if it's going to do good in there, but I made it fit because it really had to get out of the pot it was in. But then I transplanted it again into the pot that my husband got, and I think that's the one. It can stay in that pot for at least a couple years. But that thing has gotten so huge, and I got to figure out how to harvest aloe off of it. Because I mean, it was getting so heavy that from me carrying it back and forth trying to transplant it, I kind of like it was stressing some of the arms or leaves or whatever on it. And so I got to see, can I actually just take it off? And I've heard of people putting aloe in the freezer or the fridge or something, but like I don't know, I don't want to mess it up and mess up how it looks. So I have to look up how to harvest them. But this is the first aloe I've had that I haven't killed. I don't know why, but I kill aloes usually. But I must have just got it right this time. Or I got the right one or got it in the right place. It loves that sunroom. I can tell you that much. A lot of plants love that sunroom. So it is southern exposure, so that makes sense. But yeah, I can't believe how huge it's gotten. And then those other ones that I had, the dark green um aloes, the narrow leaved ones. Oh my gosh, the thing was dying in that pot because it just was like, okay, we've done all we can do in here. And so, actually, if anybody wants a piece of those, I can send you some because I have way too much and I don't know what to do with it. And I don't want to throw plants away. That seems so weird. I don't know. That would make me sad. I gotta, I don't know. And I can only have so many big pots of plants in my house. I got, I won't have a place to live. I'll be paying for, I have to pay for rent to live somewhere else while the plants live in the house. Yeah, I like having herbs. I have chives, garlic chives that like I planted one year. I never had to plant them again. They just reseed in loads, and I don't bother like I harvest from them, to cook with, but there's always way more than I need, but that works out good because the bees love the flowers on them too. So, but I want to build up my herb garden. I the the garlic chives are always there. The lovage is there. The oregano is there, but it was getting crowded out by the mint, and we have the mint at the base of the house to keep pests away and things like that. Um, and I haven't been able to keep rosemary. Um, I did have some time, but that got flooded out because I had that back of the bed that was kind of in the middle of the yard in kind of a strange place. But so I do want to grow some more thyme. So I did actually spring sow sometime, and I don't know how well that's going to do because it probably needs that stratification of being outside over the winter. But we'll see what happens. I may actually like bring it indoors um in the fall rather than leave it outside. I don't know. Um, but I want to have time. Um, I actually want to grow some creeping thyme just for ground cover, but that definitely, I think that's going to need a cold period before to make it come out of the seed come out of dormancy so it'll sprout. Um, I love rosemary, and for some reason, I had one rosemary one year that lasted me for many years, and then after I lost that one plant, I have not been able to keep rosemary since. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the strain or whatever that I'm getting, the variety that is always available here, or what. That they just want. I don't know what it is. But I love rosemary and I cannot grow it since that one plant that grew really big. But then, and I have to, it can't be outside. It has to, I have to bring it inside. Um, but yeah, I do want more, I want more herbs. I would like to have more herbs. Let's put it that way. I don't know if I'm going to have more herbs. I may have to stick to the ones that I got. But I'm going to try and get a picture of that lovage since that's the bed that I kind of was working on too. Not the end. Don't expect much. It doesn't look like anything. I just dug up dirt. There's dirt spaces, but just gonna try and cultivate it so that there's room for the oregano to grow. And I'm gonna try and maybe keep the lovage kind of better. I mean, it's been doing fine for years and well, for a decade at least. But it always gets to this one point in the summer where it gets really tall, like 10 feet tall, and then it flops over and it just looks no, it's not a pretty look, but still gives you what you need. But I think I'm gonna harvest from it early this year. Try and harvest from it all season long and make some oil early on. Which I gotta figure out what I'm gonna use as the carrier oil. I'm gonna have to buy some. Who knows how much that's gonna cost now these days. Uh, oh, excuse me. What else can I do in here? These are really hard because they're really narrow. And I gotta have a point to really. It's really hard. And I thought, well, what if you use a fine liner? But I'm not sure that a fine liner is gonna go over this because it's so waxy. I want to try and do as much in the individual things as possible. You know how you'd be missing stuff, right? I'm trying to get them all as much as possible, and then so I can go to the next step. Some of these things that I've left blank, I think I'm going to use like an acrylic marker or gel pen or something to fill them in, to kind of blend in together with whatever I wind up doing with the background. So that's why some of those are blank, but I have a problem with this guy because it's just so narrow. And I don't like this is really tiny coloring. Trying to stay in the lines of a very narrow object. That's not fun. And I still have like two hydroponic systems, growing systems that I have not set up in my house yet. And because the plants are getting so big in the sunroom, I'm running out of room. that I thought I had to do that. So like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta make a plan. I gotta figure that out because I really want to set those up. And I don't know why I'm enjoying doing this. Um, Coloring this page like with all the tiny stuff. I don't know because I don't. That's not what I do. Coloring in the background first definitely did something for me though. It made the rest of it not so intimidating. Maybe it made it feel like, oh, well, you got most of it done because you colored in the background, even though I intend to do more with the background. But it just made something less intimidating to me. I don't know why that is. Like I tricked my brain or something. It helped me to see the page differently. I really do like this book. Even as I was flipping through it earlier, it's like, yeah, I like all of those pages, really. I even like the page that I messed up. I just don't like how I progressed in it. And I don't like that I used the pencils that I did. So now it's kind of recovery mode for that page. Did that do it? I hope. Because that hard. It's just so. I may have to touch up like in here with. I don't know what. I don't know. We were driving this morning to the surgery center. It was early because it was like 7 in the morning. And all of a sudden, like, I mean, we're like, maybe like, I don't know, 15 minutes into the drive, and we're on the highway. And all of a sudden, I looked at my husband and I was like, you don't have any glasses on. I'm like, how are you driving? Because, like, one eye is 20/20, and the other eye is the one that's got to get surgery on. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the car with you and you like don't have your glasses on. He started laughing. I guess you can drive with one eye. Me, I probably wouldn't try it unless I had to, but he's been driving. But I just realized, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm in the car with you, you're driving with no glasses on, and like, how does that work? Then you won't have to worry about that anymore. You're gonna be even. Okay. I haven't done the middles. I need to do the middles. I'm not sure what to make them. Let's see. I also need to do that, but I'm kind of tempted. I don't know. All the things I think this and these are things I'm leaving for. What am I going to do with the rest of it? And then I'll decide. Do I need something to make them blend in? And like this guy, I don't know if you can see. Do I need to? Does I do it? Yeah. Like this guy, like I did. It's got purple, but because it's on the yellow, it looks kind of brown. I don't kind of mind. I don't really mind that because I think I might go in with like again some kind of marker and do something that kind of tricks the eye and makes you think it's purple. Purple with a little bit of shade. He's got a little bit of shade on his wings. So, and that's how I'm gonna make the yellow in the middle work for me. So it's like I'm not worrying about like how it turns out. Just like with this one, like there's a little bit of that kind of brown look at the tips too. I'm not worrying about it. I'm gonna make it work for me. Um, there's shading that I don't have to do now because it's purple on top of yellow. That's why I say like those colors that don't go together. That if they come together, they make brown or black. I like making that work for me. I actually like seeing that happen. It's kind of like magic. And I think that comes from like when my painting professor had said we could not buy well we could buy a tube of Payne's gray. I think that was one thing he allowed, but we couldn't use it. We needed his permission if we were going to use it, and we could not buy black. No black. He always says you make your own black. And I learned a lot from that, from him saying that. Make your own black. Make it. Make it. Because every black has a different tone to it. And so you make your own black, you get the tone that you need for whatever else is in the picture. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I swear his ears must ring. Because, like, I'm always talking about him. Anyway, this is the book. I really like this book. And I got it from Thrift Books. That's why the stickers are there. It is. Can you see it? No, it's kind of rolled over. Thriftbooks.com. You can't see it. Anyway, that's where I got it. Because I like, this is one of the, I think I got like 5 of them. And I got them for like, they were all like $4 or 4 and something. And because they were pre-owned, and there was, I don't even know if there was one in here. Was this the one that had a little bit of color on it on some part, and then I just covered it up? Um, yeah, there might not have been, there was very little, if anything, that had been colored in this one. And so it really was a deal. But I did that because I wasn't sure if I'd like coloring in her books. And it's taken a long time for me to figure it out because you see this one. Where is it? I gotta recover from this page, but I'm gonna do it. This page, me trying to figure out how do I color in this book, and all that space was driving me like insane. It's like I don't know what to do with it, so I thought, well, what if I do little mountain things, but they look kind of weird. But now this is like years later. I'm gonna work with that somehow. And I kind of like what I did right here. I don't know how I did that, how I can make that something. I don't know, but I really like that. But I don't know. I have to re-see the picture. I don't know. I might use a totally different medium on it and totally like just, I don't know. But yeah, her pages regularly confused me. So, yeah, flower. This flower. It's pretty. So, I think I'm gonna stop there because I think I'm at a. I gotta do something with this one. I really don't like this. I like these guys, so I kept going back to these guys. Everything else kind of drives me nuts. I don't know. Reese. Don't know what I'm gonna go with there. I like this one so far. I'm afraid to add another color. I kind of want to keep it all purple, yellow, and green. But that takes more thought than just going rainbow. But I like the purple and yellow and green. So I don't know if I should maybe add a different medium to it or stay with the pencils and just, kind of. think through it. Think before I color. That's basically how I got to here. Because, like, this one, I used like a, what is it, brown? Is it this brown? Yeah, I might have used this redwood on these flowers. Um, and then I also went over it with white to kind of mute the lines a little bit. Um, I think I went over with this or kind of a little bit darker, but I kind of left these darker. I don't really want to mute the color like I did on these to make them look like a different flower. So they look like a different flower. And then with this one, I went in with a really dark brown, like a chocolate brown or something. Is it this one? I think it was this one. The coffee bean. And I was kind of scared. I think I may have done this first. Yeah, because I went like a little too far on that one. Um, but then I kind of liked it. It's like, okay, that reminds me kind of like how dahlias are on their tips, how they have a dark color on the tips of them, and some of them have a dark, different color on the tips of them. And so I liked that, and I thought, you know what, that kind of works. Now it really looks like a different flower. Um, so I kind of want to do that through the whole thing, but that takes a lot of thought, so probably won't be doing that fast unless I get a burst of inspiration suddenly. So, well, this was one of the books I left out for this year on my shelf that's over there. Because I thought, well, if I'm going to color in a book, it's probably going to be this one, the Johanna Bashford book, and I guess I'm right because now I'm coloring in it, or maybe I'm just coloring in it because it is over there. I got other books over here too. I have to get a mermaid book out for May. That's one thing. I don't know. I may do that this weekend or sometime this week. Um, but that's gonna be, and then I gotta put my Lent book away in my holiday box. What else do I have here? Yeah, well, I haven't colored in Luna in a while. Yeah, so that's the color chart book. So I guess that's it for me for now. I'm gonna go run around the house. I've been sitting for a long time. Check on my husband, see how he's doing. And thank you all for joining me. And have a good rest of your day. It's fun hanging out with y'all. Take care. Oh, check my wall for the garden things, or maybe what I'll do is I will at you, Mary and Ivy. I will at you with those two. I'll go in and edit it and at you so you can look at her those pages or videos, whatever they're called. Take care. Have a good day at work, Bubbles. Bye bye.